Hey guys, how's it going? Today I am doing a first listen and review on Nicki Minaj's newest album effort called Queen. I am so excited. I was actually eagerly anticipating the release last night at midnight. Most new albums are traditionally released at midnight. This one wasn't. There's a bit of drama surrounding the pre-release of this album for anybody who has been following the story surrounding it. I was actually on Reddit last night, and apparently she was on Apple Beats Radio, and there was a whole bunch of drama there as to whether the album was going to be released today or next week to coincide with Ariana Grande's Sweetener album. So thankfully it was finally released this afternoon or late morning, so I'm super excited to finally listen to it. Again, this is the first listen. I have not listened to it yet, except for the tracks Rich Sex, and Bed, and Chun-Li. Everything else I have not heard yet, so I'm super excited. I'm not the biggest Nicki Minaj fan, but I love her music regardless, so yeah, sit back and enjoy. Track number 1 is called Ganja Burns. Okay, so that was Ganja Burns, and what a way to open up the album. I loved it, fantastic. It's really getting me excited to listen to the rest of the album. I am pumped now. Great way. I mean, Nicki never disappoints, and I only have great things, hopefully, to say about this album at the end. Great job, and it's only track number 1. So we are moving on to track number 2 called Majesty, featuring Eminem and Labyrinth. Oh. Yes. Wow. Wow, guys, I'm only 2 tracks in, and the title of this album, Queen, is certainly doing the songs justice so far. Queen, Nicki Minaj, all the way. Majesty, single, worthy. I was bobbing to it the whole time. Awesome, awesome song. I love it. Eminem, Labyrinth are amazing. I love this album so far, and I'm only 2 tracks in. Oh my god. Okay, we are moving on to track number 3 called Barbie Dreams, which is interesting because she released another song called Barbie Tings. It was released alongside Chun-Li, and for some reason Barbie Tings didn't make it on the album, but I guess Barbie Dreams did, so let's take a look at it. Wow, guys, the beats in these songs, I mean, I cannot get over them. They will have you swaying, they will have you bopping your head, they will just want you to get up and dance and move your body. They are amazing. I am thoroughly impressed so far. Barbie Dreams is almost like, at least in my opinion, it's almost like Barbie Ting's little or older sister. Really dope song. I enjoy it. So moving on to track number 4, Rich Sex, which I have heard already, featuring Lil Wayne. Rich Sex. Rich Sex. Okay, Rich Sex, another awesome song. It kind of reminds me of like the beat in the background, the do 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 do. It kind of reminds me of Black Widow by Iggy Azalea and Rita Ora. They're quite different, but it just kind of reminds me of that beat in a way. Anyway, we are moving on to track number 5 called Hard White. Okay, so that was Hard White. Again, the beat is amazing. Nicki is amazing as always. This is probably a song I would typically skip. It's okay. It probably won't be one of my favorite songs on the album. It's okay. It's decent, I suppose. Whatever. Moving on to track number 6 is Bed featuring Ariana Grande. This was a pre-released single. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so A Bed featuring Ariana Grande, another fantastic song, awesome melody, awesome beat, very chill, very sexy. I love it, love it, love it. Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj make great music together. They're almost like sisters at this point. It's no coincidence that they love each other, that they really respect each other, hopefully. But yeah, they make awesome music together. So Bed, nonetheless, is an amazing track. So moving on to Thought I Knew You featuring The Weeknd, which I am really excited about. Okay, so that was Thought I Knew You featuring The Weeknd, and it is a total Weeknd song. I love it. Fantastic. Great. Can't go wrong with The Weeknd and Nicki Minaj combined. Was there to say? Amazing. Moving on to track number 8 called Run and Hide. Okay, so that was Run and Hide. It is one of the shorter tracks on the album at 2 minutes and 35 seconds. It's clearly a filler song. There isn't anything special about it, it's sad to say. It's just whatever. Let me say though, I am very impressed with Nicki, how she is releasing a 19-track album in an age where most artists are releasing albums with 10 tracks. It's very commendable. So kudos to her. I mean, good for her. Going forward, I mean, I am on track 8. I'm just hoping there aren't, filler tracks. Obviously on every album out there, there are some kind of filler tracks, but the fact that this is 19 tracks for an album, hopefully it is the best album that she could have released, and hopefully it's just not, what's the word? Bloated, I guess. It is very commendable and really nice of her to do this, especially for her fans, to kind of give her fans kind of more of her, especially since she's been away from the music scene for 4 years. I think it's 4 years. I'm trying to think when the Pink Print came out. I think it was 4 years ago, roughly. So it's nice for her to come back after all that time and give her fans, boom, 19 tracks. So moving on from one of the shortest tracks on the album to the longest at 6 minutes is Jun Sway, SWHE. I'm horrible with the English language, honestly. Jun Sway featuring Sway Lee. Okay, please forgive me if I butchered that. Please no witch hunts. Anyway, so moving on to that track, let's take a dive. Okay, so that was definitely an interesting song, very unique in my opinion. Kind of eerie actually, which I loved. Very cool melody. I actually enjoyed it. Very, I guess unique song in my opinion. Really cool. I enjoyed it. So moving on to track number 10, Chun-Li, which was the first single released off of this album, so I have heard it multiple times. But I will listen to it one more time for the purpose of this review. I love that thing she always does with her tongue. I can't do it though. So it's no surprise this was released as the lead single. It is a total bop, probably the best song on the album so far, and probably, I will make a prediction, probably the best song on the album. I'm about halfway through right now, and I am enjoying this album so far. Definitely really enjoyable to listen to. So moving on to track number 11, LLC, which, yeah, LLC. So I don't know what was happening there with my body, but there was something about that song that released my inner freak. I have no idea, but I enjoyed it. Again, there was nothing that really stood out about it, but for some reason my body was having some kind of reaction to it, which is a good sign. So yeah, thumbs up for me. That was LLC, and now we are moving on to a Good Form, track number 12. Okay, so again, my body was having a strange reaction to another song. Good form, good song, I enjoyed it. These beats, though, there's something about these beats that are possessing my body, honest to God. And I gotta say, if you are to listen to this album for the first time, not just this album, but any new release album, you really need a good pair of headphones, not just those dinky little earphones from like Apple or whatever. You need a good pair of headphones. I'm not saying these are the greatest ever, I mean, they're Sony, but they are actually very good, and you just don't get the full immersive experience with a pair of dinky little earbuds, especially when you're listening to an album for the first time. You need the headphones. It's like a party in your brain. It is really fantastic and amazing, so keep that in mind. So we are moving on to track number 13, called NipTuck, the 2003 FX series. Just kidding, I actually never saw that show. Actually, I think I might have seen the first couple episodes. Anyway, NipTuck. Okay, so that was NipTuck. Decent song. It's obviously not one of the better songs on the album. It's probably a track, again, that I would probably skip. Yeah, but it's okay. Too Lit, Too Late interlude, number 14. Whenever I see an interlude in an album, I always think of Christina Aguilera's albums because always has interludes in her albums. She's almost like known for them. They are her trademark. But yeah, so we are moving on to this interlude, Too Lit, Too Late. Okay, so that was Too Lit, Too Late. Again, it's an interlude. It's only 55 seconds long. There isn't really anything special about it. So I'll just move on to track number 15, Come See About Me. So that was Come See About Me, a ballad, which I've always enjoyed Nicki Minaj's ballads. They're nice to hear, especially on a rap album. It's nice to see her step away from rapping for a couple songs, just using her natural singing voice. It's really nice to hear once in a while. Very soothing and relaxing. So we are now moving on to Sir featuring Future. Okay, so that was Sir featuring Future. A decent song, a good song. That would probably be a song that I would skip. It's okay. Anyway, we are now moving on to Miami. I will say though that some of these beats and some of these songs do sound similar. I gotta say, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's some kind of repetition in some of the beats in these songs. Some of them do sound similar. But anyway, moving on to track number 17 called Miami. All I'm thinking about right now is that, what's his name? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith. That Miami song, that's all I'm thinking about right now. Okay, so that was Miami. Good song. I really enjoyed it. Nice to listen to. No complaints, really. So now we are moving on to Coco Chanel featuring Foxy Brown, the last real song on the album, and then it will be followed by another interlude. Never trust a broco. Well, it appears she decided to go out with a bang. What a way to wrap up a 19-track album. Very interesting choice for a last song on an album. But nonetheless, it's a very dope song. It is a bop. I really enjoy it. Really awesome, awesome song. So now we are officially moving on to final track of the album. It is an outro. It's 58 seconds. So let's take a listen. Okay, so the final track 19, Inspirations outro, is actually a continuation of Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel and track 19, Inspirations, the outro, are essentially one song, which is really interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know why she couldn't have just put both together. Inspirations outro is essentially the last 58 seconds of Coco Chanel. Which is whatever, I guess. Anyway, that was weird. So we have finished listening to, well, I finished listening to Queen by Nicki Minaj. I love this album. Really nice. I do prefer the first half. The second half is decent as well. Very good song. You can tell a lot of work and effort went into this album. Cardi B, who? Just kidding. Queen, Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap. She always will be. This is a fantastic album. This is a great album to have in her catalog. Hopefully it does well. It really does deserve the recognition. My favorite songs on the album are probably number 1 and 2. Ganja Burns, Majesty. Probably, I guess, Rich Sex and Bed, Thought I Knew You. Chun-Li is probably my favorite song on the album. And then there's track number 12 and 11 where I had those like possession episodes with my body, which were a lot of fun. So yeah, really good album. I enjoy it. I can see myself listening to this album for months to come. Really good. Check it out if you love rap, if you love Nicki Minaj. You cannot do wrong with this album. So thank you for watching and following along. And I will see you next time, guys. Bye.